Hello, dear friends. In this part, you'll learn how real change is built step by step, why small progress matters more than you think, and what actually helps you build habits when just be consistent has never worked for you. If you want practical tools you can apply today, subscribe now so you don't miss the next parts. Point 9. Slow progress is a brick in your new life. We live in a world that trains the brain to expect quick results, quick messages, quick reactions, quick purchases, quick decisions, and then we bring the same expectation into inner growth and into big life changes. But inner change doesn't move like that. It moves more like building a foundation, brick by brick. One of the most important skills, if you want real change, is learning to see that a small step is not too small. A small step is part of the path. It's a brick that holds the next brick. If you only look at how far you are from the big goal, you lose energy, you feel behind, you start thinking it's hopeless, and then your brain looks for escape. But when you learn to see small steps as bricks that are building your big goal, your system relaxes. Let me give you an example. Maybe your big goal is a strong, healthy, beautiful body, but sport is not your thing. You don't love the gym, you don't love strict routines, and if you only look at the big picture, you keep thinking, I'm so far away. So you better start with the first brick. It might be learning to notice your state, your body sensations, your energy, your breathing, learning to feel yourself. It can sound small, but it's a huge brick. When you practice it regularly, it changes your relationship with your body. Then, the next brick becomes possible. Maybe you start doing light movements, a few stretches at work, a little dance at home, a short walk. You do it because you're building a relationship with your body that includes respect and even joy. That's how a foundation grows. You don't break yourself, you build something that can last. And at some point, it helps you go to the gym without harming yourself. Now think about a different goal. Maybe you want financial stability, savings, and capital. Maybe you want a better financial level in your life. A small brick here can be something very simple. You don't buy the extra coffee on the street, and what matters is not the coffee itself. What matters is the inner experience. If it feels like deprivation and punishment, you'll give up very soon. But if it feels calm, natural, and even good, then it becomes a real brick. And that good feeling often comes from the work you already did in the previous parts. When you start seeing and releasing some of your blocked emotions, your mental state becomes more stable. You don't need to soothe yourself with spending. You don't need the same emotional escape. So that small step matters, and it matters even more when you see the connection. This brick is part of the road to my goal. Then, the next brick becomes possible. You start saving 10% of your income, then 20%. Instead of fear and tension, you feel proud and calm because your relationship with money is changing. Then, you build an emergency fund. You start feeling safer. Little by little, your relationship with money becomes healthier. And when your relationship with money is healthier, something else changes too. You become calmer emotionally. You can ask for a raise without falling apart. You can start seeing yourself as worthy of a better job. Because for many people, money is emotionally charged. More money can feel like more stress, more responsibility, more danger. So the psyche blocks it. It keeps you safe by keeping you small. That's why building income and building capital often begins with healing your relationship with money, with small bricks. So the main skill here is this: keep noticing the bricks. Notice what you already did. Notice how it supports the next step. Notice how your small progress is creating a foundation for the life you want. Stop measuring yourself only by the distance to the final goal. Measure yourself by the road you are building, brick by brick, step by step. Point 10. Why just build the habit doesn't work. People love giving simple advice about habits. Just do it every day. Just build the habit. Just be consistent. And if you struggle with habits, you want to say, "Thank you, Captain Obvious." Because if it were that simple for you, you would have done it already. So let's look at the real question. Why can it feel so hard to build the right habit? One common reason is that you focus only on the task itself, instead of holding in your mind the quality of life you are building with that task. Take sport, for example, if sport's not your thing. After a heavy workday, it can feel almost impossible to get off a cozy couch and go to the gym. Waking up earlier to go before work can feel even more impossible, and sometimes it feels impossible because, right now, it actually is. Your system doesn't have the capacity for that jump yet. This is why it helps to lift your eyes from the task and look at the bigger picture. What is the feeling you want to have in your body? What is the relationship you want to have with yourself? What kind of energy do you want to live with? What kind of satisfaction do you want to feel when you look in the mirror and think, "I'm taking care of myself"? When you keep that picture in front of you, your brain starts searching for smaller steps that can lead you there. The steps we talked about in the previous parts. You start with something you can actually do. Maybe you stretch. Maybe you move a little. Maybe you take a short walk. Little by little, you build the road that later can lead you to the gym. And here's another method that works surprisingly well. A buddy. Some habits feel psychologically heavy. Not because you're lazy, but because inside your system there is resistance, fear, exhaustion, old experiences of failure or shame. A buddy helps you carry that weight. You choose someone, and you agree to support each other. You check in, you show up together, you help each other move through the moment when you want to quit or postpone. This method can be used for sport, for studying, for difficult phone calls, for finishing tasks that you keep avoiding. I'll give you a personal example. I'll tell you about my experience. I love working with people as a psychologist. I don't love working with computers and video editing. So, to support myself in this process, I found a buddy who helps me keep moving with these YouTube videos. It makes a real difference because you don't feel alone inside the struggle. And there is one more piece that is extremely important, especially if you've tried to build this habit for years. When you finally do a small step, your mind can devalue it immediately. You may have 3 years, 5 years of experience of it didn't work. And then one day you stretch for 5 minutes or you move a little and the mind says, "So what? That's nothing." This is the same devaluing we learn in a society that measures people through achievements. Your brain gets trained to ignore small progress, so you need to do the opposite on purpose. When you do the small step, live it consciously, notice it fully, give it weight. Show your brain, "Look, I'm doing it, this is real." The more clearly and vividly you experience that moment, the more it starts to balance the huge amount of past experience of, "I couldn't." And this is how habits grow. Not from forcing yourself into a giant jump, but from seeing the future you want, choosing the smallest, doable step, getting support when you need it, and training your brain to respect your progress instead of devaluing it. In the next part, we'll go deeper into how to design your days so your future stops being an accident. And I'll show you simple ways to protect your time, your attention, and your energy so progress becomes much easier to sustain. Tell me in the comments what habit you've been trying to build for the longest time and what keeps stopping you. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know this too. Give my video a like and subscribe to my channel.